Hey everyone, it's Foxx from Modelmaker Guru here. Guru, great start.
Guru
already. Guru, Loop Guru. It's Foxx from Modelmaker Guru here. Hello. Yes, I can't recover from that now. Hey everyone, hope you're all well. It's 1,000,000 degrees here in the ivory tower, and I suspect it is for the other guys as well. Here with a Treehouse podcast, live nonsense. I'm talking rubbish. I've really not planned this at all, so I'll dive quickly to the introductions. With me as always is a large selection of the Treehouse gang. I shall go through one by one. First of all, we had on my screen Mr. Adam Cheeves from Enigma Model Making. How are you, Adam? Yeah, you've not turned your microphone on, dude.
I was trying to pull up the chat, dude.
Don't.
Yeah, we're in real good function today.
Yeah.
I'm doing good. Doing good. Tired. Been spending some late nights working on stuff. We won't say what because starts questions.
You can say what. I don't mind. Inquiring minds want to know.
I finished building out the Falcon, the Diagostini Falcon. It's done. It is done. Now I get to fun time of taping off parts and priming and all that. Yay.
Yes, I've seen a picture. Sorry, I'm just typing in the chat at the same time. Yeah, I've seen a picture of your build of the finished thing now, and it's actually looking rather spanky, I have to say.
Dude, I've never built I know you've built a couple of the fine molds and some of the other models. I don't know about how the details are on those, but just all the gribblies and add-ons and pipework, I sit there and I look at it and I'm seeing more and more stuff as I'm working on it. And
wow, that was loud, Will. Sorry, Adam.
No problem.
sorry, carry on.
I'll come back to you in a second. And Will, you have to just. Do you in fact have a bowl of the dry shit?
I do indeed.
All is well in the Treehouse. Anyway, yeah. Back to Adam. Yes.
Oh no, dude, go ahead and do the cutaway. That was perfect.
Well, to answer your question, the fine molds Falcons are incredibly detailed in that you can identify parts from kits in the moldings. Like you could say, well, there's the back of a Panzer IV. There's a tank jack from a Tamiya 135th tank. So it's very accurate, but it's not 100% accurate. The Diag Falcon's supposed to be the most accurate. I don't know. I've not actually built mine, as most people know.
Now, the one thing I am... Yeah, why not?
Shut up!
I was hoping they would have more reference pictures. You know how they talked about they were going to send us reference pictures?
Oh, yeah.
Painting it?
Did they not do that? No.
No, what they did was they sent you a big... Remember the... the full-size plan that they sent you. Basically, they sent you a full-size picture of it.
Okay, that's okay. So not quite what they promised then, but never mind.
Shit, if it's full size, it'll be huge. It'll take up what, a whole yard?
Yeah, 50 meters or something.
Something like that.
Okay, well let's go on to the next in the team. Next along, working away, haircut boy himself, Mr. Tedward. See, when I said haircut, he looked straight away. Ted from Skipper Ted. Hang on, he's got to press a button.
Ted got to mic on as well. Yeah, yes. Hello, everybody.
Hey, yes, Ted, how you doing?
I'm working studiously away here, doing things on the bench as we should be. Us modelers, not chatting away. Should be modeling.
Get off my lawn. Can I just point out that it's so warm in this room, my glasses are steaming up.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So how is life treating you, Mr. Tedward?
Excellent. Weather's good, people are good, work's good, modelling is good.
It's all lies.
Yeah. It's actually one of those jobs where I actually enjoy going to work. No, not many people could say that. No,
yeah. Working on the oceans, as it were, the sort of oceans.
Yeah, sort of oceans. Yeah. People say, does it get rough? It's a lake, it doesn't get rough.
Yeah. It gets cold, it gets wet.
It gets cold and it gets wet, but it doesn't get... Yeah. So, I'm here. Yes, I've come along. So if you see me just drifting away, I'm probably building something here on the bench.
Yeah, you'll just be fettling, won't you, in the background?
I'll fettle away, and I'll catch up with you. I'll be listening, though. I'll be listening, and I've got the chat up so I can see what goes on in there.
You'll occasionally pop your head up and say something ridiculously witty, just without warning.
As is my want. Yes.
Yes. Okay, dokie. Well, next along we have Mr. Good Old TK from TK's Models. TK, how you doing, matey?
Hey, I'm good. Yeah, it's a bit warm in here, like in the same here room, but yeah, we'll manage.
Yeah. What's the current temperature in the in TK Towers?
TK Towers is at 25 degrees centigrade.
Is that all? Jeez, that's a mild
with a
day in winter,
humidity
bro.
of 70%. So
Is that all?
it's a bit. Warm. And I got a custom banner that can move.
That's true. Yeah, you've got a fully interactive banner.
Yeah.
It looks like you've got one of them kind of like sports broadcaster microphones where you hold it up to your mouth and it's got the channel ident.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. I fear that's a goal from the other offside. There, it's very exciting. Yes, indeed. I fear. Yes, indeed. A little bit.
But Alex says it's cool, but Alex is from Spain, so everything is cold for him. So yeah.
That's true.
It's still it's warm for us.
Yes, what we think is hot and sweaty is Arctic for people in Spain. And next along, and last but by no means least, it's the little sleepy Kiwi. It's Mr. Will himself from Models by Will. How are you doing, dude? Are you with us?
What?
And moving on now to next news. How you doing, dude?
Morning, everyone.
That was waiting for you to carry on there, dude.
Oh, we have to speak. We have to speak as well.
Oh yeah, I thought I'd just saying hello and then moving on to the next segment.
Yeah.
Hi. How's everybody going? Yeah. Next.
That all went jolly well, didn't it?
It's going to be one of those nights.
Okay, well, I'll stop him squirming in the spotlight. I'll just have a quick whiz through the chat and see who we've got in. We've got White Knight, Alex Coutal. Hey, Tomikex PC, I'll pronounce it that way. Chris Williams, hi Chris, the Oak Boys, evening dude. Who else have we got? Some guy called Modelmaker Guru, don't know who that is. Probably an idiot. Rody Hobby has already gone. Okay, bye Rody.
No, he's back.
Oh, okay. Oh, Beyond Hope's in. Who else do we have? Nate Bliss. Hey, Nate. Kenneth is in. Hi, Kenneth. Any other names? Tony Black's in. Watcher, Tony.
He's not Tony Black, but some other, yeah.
Lady Cat.
That's the one. I can't remember who it was. Yeah.
Yes, he was a little dog trophy. Andy B67. Let's have a look. Phil East is in. Hey, Phil. And many others. Scott's in from the distant land of Orkney.
Hello from Cumbria to the Orkney. I got it right.
Yeah, the Orkney. nice little contingency there, Ted. Yeah. Scott, if you don't know, Scott posted up that little puffin video in the Boom Hut today. Oh God, how adorable was that little puffin?
Hey guys, watch it. We got a fellow Georgian in there too.
Oh, who's that? Oh yeah, Corey. Hey Corey. That's two people from Georgia. Oh wow. Frozen Zilu from Poland. Hey there, Matthew Drake. Hi everyone. And I think I probably missed loads of people out, but I'll move on from the chat. But yes, all very good. Now, as always, we haven't planned anything in this. My glasses really are steaming up. That's really warm. I'm gonna put my fan on. Let me know if this blasts the microphone. Let me know if it becomes annoying if you can hear it. Now, as always, we haven't planned anything. Look at me with no glasses on. It's weird, isn't it? So if you have any questions, do feel free to ask them in the chat. This is the Treehouse podcast that's open to everybody, not just patrons. So just feel free to ask any questions. It can be about model making, it can be about soup, it can be about pencils, it can be whatever you want. Questions about anything. The dumber the better is always a winner.
We've got somebody in from the other side of the world. We've got Kenneth M from Australia.
G'day, bro.
G'day,
I'm
Bruce.
further away than him.
Yeah.
What's up, Kenneth?
Do you know him, Will? Do you know him? He must be a
Yeah,
neighbour.
do you know him? He's from Australia. That's just next door.
Yeah, you must know him.
Oh, of course I do, yeah. Good guy. Good guy.
And Will know each other. They just live next door.
I'm always over there borrowing a cup of sugar.
Kenneth's like, I don't even use sugar. I only buy it because you come round and nick it. So yes, so in the chat, do dive in, feel free. It's not the Models podcast, so you can be a bit more raw and ready in the chat if you want. What is that?
My pad. I'm trying to turn this volume down. Sorry. Well played.
No.
Yeah, it's like the interviewer's phone going off, isn't it? After an interview on TV.
I've had that.
I watched the thing last night, and it was a clip from Question Night, and David Dimbleby's there with all the politicians asking all the questions, and somebody's talking away, and his phone starts making a noise, and it kind of goes ding, 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 and the MP was talking to him, blah, blah, blah. I think it's your bedtime, David. He went, yes, it's my go-to-bed alert. Sorry.
I remember going to a sudden death once.
Pardon? Oh, yes, sorry.
I remember going to a sudden death as a police officer. And the family were all there, sort of sat and weeping and saying, "Oh, poor old granddad, you know, it's a shame," and things. Then my colleague's phone went off with a ringtone. "Hello, this is a call from the dark side." It didn't go down well.
I bet that went down well. So what did he do as soon as he left the police office? The police force?
Yeah, he got out of the job and he's moved on. Yeah,
work security ever since.
Yes, there are some embarrassing ringtones.
Yes. Yes. So anyway, people in the chat, yes. If you've got a question, either type it in all caps or type it with question in capitals, just so we can see it in the chat. Because like in the model stream, the chat will move really fast, and we won't have a clue what the hell's going on. Like I said, it's not the models chat, so you can mention other companies, do whatever you want. You're allowed. We don't really mind swearing too much. It's a bit of a family-friendly show, so don't get too rude. Just treat it like the Boom Hut. Same rules apply. It's just the Boom Hut. So same rules apply. We don't mind a little bit of swearing, but don't get particularly bad, you know.
Real quick to a question that we've already got to.
Oh, yes.
Hope, what is the airspeed of an unladen swallow? Not as fast as a poopin'.
Not as fast as a what?
Poopin'.
Poopin'.
Pooping?
Poopin'.
Pooping.
Whatever.
We have another question. Another question already from Corey Humphreys. What is a good budget paint for a Gumpler? Well, it's what is a good budget paint, full stop, because it doesn't matter what the model is.
Oh, speaking of paint for Gunplay, have you seen that Vallejo bringing out Mika paint?
Yeah, I saw the picture and it had like 3 colours. I'm assuming it's going to be more than just those 3 colours.
You'd hope so, but that could be quite good because Vallejo, I'm loving the Vallejo paint.
Yeah.
The air colours anyway. So
yeah.
if it's as good as that, then it'll be pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna make a wild stab in the guess. I'm gonna guess there's going to be a blue, a white, a yellow, and a red.
Red,
at least in the base pack, and then some sort of light German grey colour.
Don't forget green.
You don't often get green and orange in Gunpla, not that much.
But how's this budget?
Yes. Anyway, yes. So back to the question. Yes, good budget paint. So it doesn't matter what you're building, whether it's a Gunpla or not. It's what's a good budget paint. So what would you guys recommend as a good budget paint? I'd say Vallejo Air. I mean, I like Citadel paints, but they're not the cheapest. So
Vallejo isn't that.
I find that most paints are about the same price. Generally, they're around about the same price range. It's just if you have to ship them from anywhere, or it depends where you live, really.
Yeah, you're out of focus there, Tedward.
Oh, again.
Always. I'm really dark. Why am I really dark?
It's also the size of the bottle, because like Vallejo is what, 17 mil, and that's unthinned.
Yeah,
whereas Tamiya is what, 10 mil, but you thin it, so you're basically doubling it, so you're getting 20 mil roughly out of a bottle. So that's about the same as Vallejo anyway.
Citadel's 12, so it's not.
12, is it?
Yeah, Citadel's a bit more expensive than Vallejo.
But still, 12 mil. It's only 5 mil difference. It's not a lot, really.
No.
So, and for me, the price between like the Citadel, Tamiya, Vallejo, where I'm getting it from, is around about the same anyway. So it's one's not really cheaper than the other. Yes, I don't really know about budget paint.
I know here in the U.S. at Hobbytown, USA, where I get my paints, Tamiya paints are running right at $4.50 a bottle. Vallejos are, $4.25 for Tamiya, $3.50 for Vallejo, and then $6 for Citadel. So.
Okay.
It's all right. I have to interrupt. Orc Boys wants a close-up of my T-shirt.
Yes, I saw that. Go on. I'll lock it on you.
How's that?
That's awesome.
John lives in one.
I name him Boba. Nothing in the universe is greater than you.
It's like my brother gets me every time I go to a movie, he gets me a T-shirt, and they started getting them for me for my birthday and Christmas and stuff now. So I always get T-shirts, and it's always, sci-fi, superhero themed sort of things. So it's like awesome. I never have to buy a T-shirt again.
Ted wouldn't know what that was, would you, Ted?
Sorry.
So yeah, in terms of cheap paints, I mean, really, they're all kind of roughly more or less. It varies from place to place, but you're looking at things like, Vallejo Game Color, Vallejo Air, Tamiya paints, Citadel if they're not too expensive. It's really just more have a look around and see which one works best for you, because they're all kind of about the same price with some variations. So all the main paints are kind of around about the same price. Evil Monkey says, question, has anyone used scale 75 paints? Alan says he uses scale 75 and they're great. I've never actually seen them.
Never heard
Have any of you guys used them before?
Nope.
Never heard of them.
Brilliant. Always here to offer you the best advice. Haven't got a clue, but Alan says he's used them and they're great. So Alan, if you maybe want to give Evil Monkey a bit of info in the chat, just let him know.
I think on that point, though, it brings up a good point just about asking us questions. We don't profess to know everything, and if we don't know it, we'll honestly say so. And it's up to sometimes the question gets answered before we've even seen it in the chat, which is great. That's what it's all about here.
Yeah. I mean, we all have our own little areas of kind of preference. So, for example, the types of model we build, we all have different things that we like to do. So I'm your gunplayer and sci-fi, Ted's boats and planes and stuff. TK's more planes and bits of sci-fi. So we all vary, but there'll be areas that we don't cover. I don't really do armor. So there's always things that we won't know, but we know that you guys will help yourself out in the chat anyway. So it's all cool. It's all gravy.
Joshua Falls is asking, what's a good black primer?
Who was asking that, sorry?
Joshua Falls, what's a good black primer? That stuff.
Yeah.
Which is the same as Siren is, the same as UMP, and it's good.
Yep.
But I've had good results from that stuff too.
Yeah,
like
put it away. Put it away. Put it
People
away.
bag
Put
it,
it away.
but I used it on my DS9. I had no issues with it. So I don't know.
You're banned.
Yeah. See ya.
If you've not heard of it, there's a primer called Stynyle Res, STYNYLREZ, Stynyle Res, made by Badger. It's also called UMP, Ultimate Modeling Products Primer, Ultimate Primer, and that's in UK and Europe. And it's also called Ammo by Meg One Shot Primer. It's all the same stuff. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's an awesome acrylic primer. It goes on really nice, smooths out really flat. That's just our opinion. There are other primers. I can't stand Vallejo's primer. I hate it. Never works. For me, it's never worked. It never dries. It pulls off. It's horrible.
No, it doesn't.
But then I've
treat it the right way.
Yeah, well, shut up. Yeah, but I don't want to leave it 3 weeks to dry. But then there's also, I've used the Citadel Chaos Black Primer, which I'm pointing at, even though it's not there because I threw it away because it was empty. That's a really good primer. It's a rattle cam. It goes on really nice. Tamiya rattle cam primers are fantastic, but they're not cheap. They are, I think, the best primer.
Do they make a black one? Does Tamiya make a black primer?
No, they do grey, white, and pink.
They do pink?
Well,
yeah, they do pink one. But to me, Tamiya rattle cam primer.
I have to agree that the Stynyle Res or UMP or whatever rebrand of the same thing, it does seem to be a bit better than the Vallejo's and stuff like that primers, because you just have to leave them to dry for less time.
Yeah, I mean, I know people do get.
Vallejo really does need 2 to 3 days to properly cure and grip.
And that's the thing that puts me off Vallejo primer, because if I prime it, I want to wait at the most 24 hours. I don't want my primer to be 3 or 4 days, which makes the Vallejo stuff completely pointless. I mean, I know people do get good results with it, but so many people, it just comes off. It doesn't stick. It's horrible. I'm not even.
Yeah, you need to really clean off your model with alcohol, so there's no fingerprints on it.
But that's what makes me wonder, though, if it's that finicky. Why do they even keep making it? Why not just improve it?
But I never did any of that with my DS9. I never cleaned it off. Oh, well, I brushed it off. I didn't clean it off with alcohol or anything. I didn't worry about fingerprints. I slapped it on. Not
slap it on, Ted. Say it. Ted, say it. He's not going to say
He's not
it.
listening.
You fell asleep.
But yeah, I had no issues with it, and it never peeled off or anything. And
But it
it
did take you
wasn't like
10
I was being gentle with it.
But it did take you 10 years to make that DS
Well, yeah,
laser.
because I primed
how
it
long was
like
it there?
6 years ago. So
How long did you leave it once
so
it
yeah,
was primed?
at least it's 6 years to dry. So that's probably why. But
There you go then.
yeah,
Prime is the best.
Has anyone used the Alpha stuff? I've got some.
I got
I've
some
never used it.
Alclad. I got some
Have
Alclad.
you used it?
Yeah, I've used it.
I've got it, but I've not used it. Yeah.
When I did the review on my airbrush, that's what I used. No, I used one.
Wow.
No, I used that on the General Lee, the Dodge Charger. It's beautiful.
Joshua says it was Rattlecan he was looking at. Citadel was what he was looking at. Citadel's really nice, but it's not the cheapest. It is really good primer though. But I think Tamiya Rattlecans are better. It's by far the best primer you'll ever put on a model, button on, Rattlecan or not. Followed very closely by the UMP/Steinauer/ Badger stuff. But I know Tamiya in the US is hard to get hold of, so if you can get a Citadel and not Tamiya, either are good. Either. Citadel's a little bit expensive, and their cans are a bit dribbly. They tend to dribble everywhere, but it is a really nice primer. Comes in black or
A
white.
good size can of Tamiya here in Ohio will run you about $10.
Okay, and Citadel primer over here is about £6, so that's probably about $7 or $8, $9 maybe.
I'll just
About $9, yeah.
quick Google exchange rate.
Yeah, Citadel might be a bit cheaper.
Will, going back to the Alclad, just remember, have a respirator.
Oh yeah, because it's a lacquer-based one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, same with the Tamiya. Tamiya is lacquer, but that can there, the smaller can of the primer, that cost me nearly between 15 and 20 New Zealand dollars for that.
Yeah, you can get the bigger cans as well. Rhodey did ask Rhodey, you asked the question, but unfortunately the chat's disappeared now and I've forgotten it. Can you ask your question again, Rhodey? I did see it, but I've lost it on there. Oh yes, Evil Monkey says Army Painters. I've used that, and that's actually a really good primer as well.
Now, has anybody ever used straight rattle can spray paint primer, like just like something you get from a hardware store?
Yes, I did try that one time. It didn't work out too well. It was very, very, very lumpy. So it took a lot of sanding to get it smoothed back down again.
Yeah, the difficulty with like sort of hardware store, DIY store, auto kind of Halfords type stuff is that you need to make sure it's actually a primer. If you go into say Halfords or somewhere, an auto repair place, and you see all these cans of like primer for your car, most of those won't actually be primer, they'll just be paint. If you're buying from a hardware shop or a car place, make sure it says primer on it first and foremost. And there's something else you need to look out for. If it doesn't specifically say primer, it's probably just a paint. And it also needs to say sandable. If the can says primer and sandable, you know it's actually a primer, you should be fine. If it doesn't say primer, but primer or sandable, it's probably just paint. So
that's good to know, because sometimes those paints are actually a lot cheaper and coming.
Yeah, but they also, well, over here, they also are hot paints, so they might melt your plastic.
Yeah, I was just going to say that as well. I just got to be careful of that, yeah.
That's it. I mean, my advice would always be, if you're making a model, use model making products if you can, just for safety when it comes to things like paints, because like auto paints, they could be really strong solvent paints, and that if you're building a gunpla, it's just going to melt the inner frame ABS. So
yeah, just try on a bit of sprue before you try it on your model.
Yeah.
As far as using model paints, though, I haven't done it myself, but I've seen a few people do it, and I've got some set up. It's nail polish mixed with lacquer thinner. So I've got some mixed up in there. So I was mixing it up for when I was doing car models, but I haven't actually used it yet. And I've seen some really good results from that, just from nail polish. Yeah.
And what's that using that as? What?
Paint for model cars.
Oh, your nails.
A lot of vehicle guys doing it, and just get whatever color you want from your nail polish and slap that stuff on. Slap it on.
Slap it on.
Oh, okay.
You thin it to about 50-50 with lacquer thinner, and it works out really well apparently. And a nice tough coat, because it is nail polish is a tough finish. So
yeah, it's enamel paint.
Yeah. So apparently it works really well. I've got a whole heap of colours mixed up. I just never got around to using them.
Okay, cool. I've got Rhodey's question. although I'm not clear what it is. Question: when using Tamiya thin or the normal one? I'm assuming you mean when do you use one and when do you use the other?
Yeah,
The mint primer.
No, the glue. I think if it's Tamiya thin.
Oh, the glue.
Yeah, I read it as,
Yeah,
I read it as a glue.
Yeah.
The glue.
Yeah, I've answered loads of questions, so I'll let everyone else
Yeah.
go. So I'm going to interpret it as when do you use the extra thin and when do you use normal thick.
Well, I use the extra thin for almost everything because it welds it together, and I've hardly ever used the normal stuff. But if I do, it's only to like when you're welding stuff together, just to blob over the joint to fully fill in the gap sort of thing. Yeah, it's more as a gap filler than anything else. That's the only time I've really used it. Other than that, I don't use the thick stuff to glue anything together really.
And then there was silence. I'd basically say exactly the same. The only time I've ever used the thick glue like Will is to make a bead over something, to make a filler gap. Or if you've got two big flat areas that you want to glue together, the extra thin dries really quick. So if you're trying to paint it on there, so sometimes I'll just slap the thick glue on there because it takes minutes, so I can then get it covered and slap them together. But for most normal parts, I just use the extra thin. Alan asks, TK, how's the shrimp? That's the most important question of this evening, actually. How are the shrimp, TK? You mentioned them earlier to me offline.
Yeah, I already replied in chat, but I've got 2 left. So I'll be getting a new colony next week. So
are you going to let those 2 fight to the death first?
Excuse me?
Are you going to let those 2 fight to the death?
No, they're both female, so they won't fight. But
is it going to be like
chuck a male in there?
Is it going to be like
chuck a male in there to fight over the male?
Is it going to be like kind of prison drama when you guys come in?
I had 3 left, 2 females and a male, and the male died. So he may have been over-exercised.
Yeah, because he lived with 2 females. He probably killed himself. It's like, oh.
2 to 1. No, I can't do that.
I saw a question there from Gavin, who is, I understand at the moment, painting some figures. He asks, what's the best oils for painting figures?
Any. Except crap you get from the pound shop.
Yeah.
Go to it.
So what are the best shades of oil paints for doing flesh? Is what he asked.
Flesh.
No, I do know that Abteilung do a set. They actually do a set. You can do it in acrylics, but I do know that he's doing. I've got some of them. I do know he said he's doing his figure in oils, but maybe if he goes to along, I don't know if he knows about e-models. I don't know if he's heard of them. If Gavin goes along to e-models and has a look. Yeah, never heard of them. Yeah. Have a look on the shelves.
Yeah.
Do they sell models or something? Do they? Just with the name models, I'm thinking e-models, so they must.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah. It's either that or electronic ladies. I'm not sure which one it is.
Oh, I thought it was a website about flesh tones, really.
Okay.
Flesh tone. Yeah, you
can get. Does anyone know the website address?
Yeah, if you nip into that newsagent's next door to e-models, you can get a book on flesh tones.
You can just imagine Ted's entire bookmark list in his browser now, can't you?
Flesh tone.
Yeah, there are pre-made flesh-coloured sets in oils, but there's so many different skin tones in people that it's impossible. If you're just buying art shop supply type paints,
no. Yeah,
I did see someone posted in the Bowmud about how to paint flesh tones. It was a link, but I can't remember who posted it and when.
I've just realised
yesterday, the day before, maybe.
I just realised, TK, you're the only person that actually pronounces boomhook correctly.
Yeah, because I'm the only Dutch person in this room right now.
So technically our members would be boomers and not boomers, but there you go.
Yeah, we may not want to call them that, but yeah.
Yeah, that obviously means something.
Because booms would be probably explosions.
Yeah, I've just noticed that Heinrich's on your screen as well.
Yeah, he's been there for a while, though.
Kenneth says, question, what's Ted working on? We'll now clear the floor for about 20 minutes. I'll lock it on you, Ted. There you go. We'll walk off and have a cigarette.
I'm working on my U-boat tonight because I need to get some painting done because it's one of those models where everything needs to be painted a different colour.
Do you have a big section you can show us?
I'm working on the interior on the one of the watertight bulkheads, painting all the attachments on there.
You're a
I've
watertight
got
bulkhead.
Looks
sections
like
here.
Mickey Mouse's head.
I've got a section here of the control room. I would light it up, but I haven't got the batteries for it.
Nice.
So that bit's finished. So I've got about another 5 of these sections to do. So that's what I'm working on. Yeah, and it does look a bit like Mickey Mouse, doesn't it?
You're a bulkhead.
You're a bulkhead. I like big boats and I can't deny it.
Yes, you like big boats and you cannot lie. Near enough, Ted. You kids, get off my lawn, you kids with your rock and your roll and your hip and your hop. Paul Stewart says, well, Vincent and Benoit can say it right too about boom hoot. Yes, that's true.
Also, Roadie Hobby is asking how much does Fox and Ted get every time they say e-models?
The old boy.
Do they get paid?
Wait, do we get paid? The old boy says, who's got the Swifts/Swallows? So I'm guessing it must be me because we have Swifts that live in our room. I didn't realise you could hear them outside. That's
I
quite
could hear them
amazing.
when we're doing the judging the other day too. Could hear
Really?
some birds.
Yeah.
That's like outside. So on the back of that, then, can you guys hear my fan? Is it really loud? Do I need to
I
turn it
can't
off?
hear anything.
No.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got
What's a
Swifts.
Swift?
We've got Swifts that. What's a Swift? A Swift is a little
Very
bird.
fast bird.
Yeah, very fast bird with
Okay.
little sort of swept back wings, but they have legs like about that long, so they can't actually land. If it lands, it can't take off.
Yeah. It's sort of swallow bird, but different.
Yeah.
Yeah. We probably have the same. TK, was that the police outside yours? No, it was an ambulance. So
Have we all got like super excellent microphones that pick up outside noise?
I'm just on my crappy webcam. So yeah.
I know.
And Alex says, Fanta. Yeah,
You've been.
it's horrible actually. I've been drinking this for years, and I thought I'd try it again, but
You've been drinking it for years and you've not finished that can yet. Not surprised it
no,
tastes
I haven't. Yeah, that may be the problem. Looks a bit green in there as well, but
Kenneth says, question.
It's brilliant.
Go on, sorry. Question.
Yeah,
Kenneth
it's
says,
brilliant at work because I. Oh, we're carrying on.
no, go on. Speak, Will. Go on, Wilbert. Speak forth your.
I just say it's brilliant at work because I'm working with the aircraft on turnaround. So the engineers come in and they've like decated the planes. They're bringing me little bags of snacks and stuff and the little tiny cans of drink that you get on aircraft. It's brilliant. So every day I'm getting a couple of cans of little drink and like, bags of chocolates and stuff.
Is that why you're getting home pissed every night, basically? Because you've been on the little cans of beer and whiskey and stuff.
Yeah.
Right, anyway.
Bottle of wine and stuff.
Kenneth, you had a question a couple of weeks ago. Kenneth says, would Alclad lacquer primer and lacquer paint? Hang on, let me start that one again. Would Alclad lacquer primer or lacquer primer rub off on gunpla joints?
Yes.
Possibly, yeah. Lacquers are pretty tough paints, but if it's a really tight joint, anything's going to rub off.
And because gunpla are really tight joints, they're really well engineered. Yeah, I'm finding almost every time it's rubbing off to some degree.
I've found weirdly that some of the older master grade kits, all the joints work perfectly fine with enough clearance that the paint doesn't come off. But some of the newer ones, like some of the HGs I've built, and especially anything based on the Strike, like the Buster Gundam, the Strike Gundam, the Strike Freedom, that joint at the back of the knee, you have to sand the bit on the leg to make it fit. Otherwise, it just rubs every time it moves.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Some of the older kits,
Yeah, because that's what I did on. Because I had to sand the one on my one on the Freedom.
Freedom.
Yeah, on the back of the knee. Yeah, I had to sand that to get it to go. So.
Well, I've not found it being there.
You
do get a scrape down the side, but when you put the arm around the side as well, you've got the joint in the middle. Yeah, you have to sand those two sides of the armor back a little bit because they will scrape down the inner joint, which is like arse.
Yeah, I think mine might be alright because I went through and checked all the armor and sanded everything back so it wouldn't scrape and stuff. But
I mean, what I would say, Kenneth, is if you're making a kit and you're not sure, then do a little test build of your joints first. And when you can see where there's areas that might be rubbing, just see if you can sand the edges a bit so you've got a little bit more clearance. But the thing with alkalis is using very thin coats of alkali primers, so you might be all right. If it's an older master grade, you might be all right. Where are we? Let's see, what else have we got? We'll tell you what, let's take a break from the questions for a moment. What are you all working on? Ted's obviously just gone through his U-Boten-Gefahrten, which is the size of everything. Adam, are you able to show us your Felenium Malkin at all, or is it in a different room and not possible?
It's down in the dungeon.
So just tell us, just say massively awesome really loud, and then that'll tell us.
Massively awesome.
There you go. TK, what are you working on at the moment? I can see behind you a box which suggests something is on its way out and something is on its way in. Reveal all to us.
Yes. The big box with the big black bird in there. It's on its way out. It's done. So I'm happy. Yeah, well, no, that's out of the way. I started painting a plant.
Right. That's almost realistic. Is that life size?
It's just a plant. No, I've been playing with some Games Workshop stuff just to unwind a bit because it's a really easy build. Once that's done or in progress and it needs to dry, I'll be working on a space shuttle, actually.
Nice.
I must admit, I've not made a space shuttle since I was about 7. At some point, I really need to do a space shuttle. It's another one of those you have to kind of build it. Isn't it?
I did a space shuttle back in the day, and then I had this thought: what would I do with a space shuttle now that I've learned all this new shit, and just try that on a space shuttle. And I started building it, but with rockets and everything, it's way too big to fit in anything of my room or display case or whatever. So I put it away, put it back in the box, and never I haven't looked at it in 2 years, I think. And I found out my niece, who is 9, 10, I don't know, child age, is really into space. So I'm finishing it for her as a present. So
cool, awesome. Alex does say, but then TK, how many open projects actually?
How many open projects? I'll claim 11, but it's probably more. This is
Wait, is that the old one or the new
Atlantis? That's a new one, a new-ish one, because I think this is still painted in Revell or Umbral enamel paints. So it might be interesting.
Looks good though. Looks good.
Yeah, from a distance.
From a distance. No, I can't sing it. Copyright. So.
But yeah, this will go to my niece as just a display model, so she can be really proud of having a space shuttle display model. Cool.
So Wilbert, what about you? So what's your on the go? You know you've got your Freedom Gundams. Is that
that's still what I'm working on. So I've gotten everything's been gunk washed and flat coated. There's the wing panel. So proud of that decal. It's the best decaling I've ever done. You can't see the carrier film on the bigger ones. The smaller ones you can a little bit, but the bigger ones you can't. The frame's now been clear coated as well, so it's had a satin coat, which I don't really like. So I'll probably just stick with flat. It's very similar to the flat coat anyway. And you're just still carrying on with that. So the frame's pretty much done now that it's been clear coated. I'm not going to do too much more to that, and I've just got some more stuff to do to the armor and try and get to the weapons and stuff, and a few more decals to do.
So weeks and weeks left to do that then.
Well, yeah, because it doesn't help that I'm not able to work on it as much as I used to be able to, because when I get home from work, I'm exhausted and fall asleep almost straight away. And then
we wake you up at 9 in the morning.
Yeah.
Just some dumbass podcast. Smoo actually has a request for you, but I think he thinks you live in Australia because he says he wants you to say throw another shrimp on the Barbie. Because obviously,
have a shrimp on the Barbie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an Aussie thing, that one.
Yeah, not Kiwi.
No. We like that shrimp. But...
That's a bit like saying Orkney is part of Scotland. Orkney is part of Scotland. It's like, don't.
No, thank you.
No, yeah. I thought this was off the Isle of Wight.
What, Orkney?
Yeah.
I think it's near France, isn't it? I don't
know. Yeah, it's just off. It's between Jersey and Guernsey. And Jersey, Guernsey, Orkney. It's all the same, isn't it?
It's all Jersey or Guernsey.
Yeah.
As for me, I'm still working on the Big Eagle. I've not done much. I spent the last couple of days building something which I've shown to patrons, but I'm not going to reveal to people here because that's going to be something in the Eagle build that I'll show eventually, but I'm not showing yet.
Can I just say that your Big Eagle looks awfully like a puffin?
I know, it's my amazing paint job. You don't want to know where the thrusters are. Trust me on that.
What kind of fuel does it take?
Stinky fish. Stinky fish.
Someone's trying to piss off Will.
If you want to piss off Will, ask him how the Lions tour went.
Lions tour? I don't care. I don't follow the rugby, so I don't care. I know it was a draw, but other than that, nah. Doesn't talk me.
Chris Williams says he probably knows them.
But he kicked the Americans' butt in the America's Cup, though.
Smooth does.
Oh yeah.
Smooth does say
awesome.
that's
the America's Cup is the only sport that I follow, and that was just like, yeah, awesome, kick ass.
I need to.
Well, is it sad? Now, I hate to say this. Is it sad that the one American in the group was actually rooting for New Zealand?
We even had, if you know who Dennis Conner was, if you know Dennis, he's notorious for the America's Cup, and he was rooting for New Zealand as well. He didn't want America to win, so that was pretty good.
Yeah. Smooth does say, where Chris says, you probably know the Lions. It says Smooth says it's like him saying that Chris asking Chris if he knows Bob with the white transit van. It's not. Chris says, yeah, Bob, good bloke. Any other news from you guys in the modelling world, or the not modelling world, or not modelling as in glamour modelling, because that's not right.
No, but I will be starting on Will's model here soon, so I'm excited about that.
Ooh, which one? Go on, tell us. Tell us
the Reliant.
The Reliant.
Yep.
1/1000 scale, isn't it?
1/1000 scale. It's a snap kit, but I'm going to do it as a full glue and custom kit.
Yeah, it's the same one that
Snap
TK, same one TK started on a while back.
Yeah, the only thing I'm not doing that TK did is I'm not going to put a light package in it.
Oh, disappointing, dude.
No, I'm not suicidal.
I fully support him not putting lighting in it.
Yeah, well, just don't depend on the snap part too much.
No. I was reading the directions, and it's funny. It's like it says you can do it as a snap kit, or a glue kit. If you do it as a glue kit, just cut off the snap bits anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't snap together anyway. So.
Well, I've done the other round 2 snap kits, a couple of them, and yeah, they're not snap kits. I'm just grabbing them. So, okay, that's not going to come off. You do need to glue them. So the other Enterprise.
Ooh,
sorry. Enterprise E, that's still to be finished. That's got to have a flat coat done on it. But that's another one that's meant to be a snap kit, and you had to glue it. And the Enterprise D, the big bugger. That one's awesome.
Is that the one you started? Is that the one you started filming, and then we never saw it from then on?
Yeah, probably. Because I was going. I got like 6 episodes in and got sick of it, and yeah, I was going to do all of them, but I stopped because I want to light them. Because even though they're small, I want to get them lit. So I've got the same models again. I just going to go again and light them up the second time round. So that's why I stopped.
Is this your?
Not because I didn't have enough room. I don't have a big enough bench to. Yeah, my bench is too big to fit that on, so I had to stop and do something else.
So you had a smaller bench.
Yeah.
Yeah, shut up. Yeah, but you didn't film 6 episodes, so. Rhodey's got another question for us. He says, question, what is the worst modelling instruction you've worked on? So which kit had the worst instructions ever? I can't actually think. Any resin?
I got one. When I did my TARDIS build.
Yeah, those instructions were rubbish, man.
Yeah, that's your own instruction.
Yeah. The Reliant lighting kit instructions are basically one piece of paper saying randomly place lights in the kit here.
Is it like
put it about there, or if it doesn't work, then try it over here, and if that doesn't work, then just figure it out for yourself.
Is it like the how to draw an owl thing? Like draw 2 circles and draw the rest of the goddamn owl.
Yeah, it is something like that. And you don't need to solder anything because you get LEDs, separate wires, and a separate battery pack. So there's no need for soldering whatsoever.
You're still terrifying me.
You're taking all the fun away if you're not having to solder it.
Yeah, but that's the way they sell it. You know, it's here, have a kit. This fits the Reliant, made by Polar Lights. And you don't have to do anything except construct it without any instructions.
I do have a very important question for every Treehouse member. Okay, now you 2 of you just said it, but Will, that thing where you attach 2 pieces of metal together with a hot piece of metal and some flux, what's it called?
Soldering.
Okay, TK, what's it called?
Soldering.
Ted, what's it called?
Soldering.
Adam, what's it called?
Soldering.
Oh, I never got what the Americans say.
Someone to say soldering.
I know. I never got what the Americans say soldering when instead of soldering.
Soldering. Yeah, they want to say it's soldering. They want to throw an A in it.
I know. They just take out the L and just.
But isn't soldering something else that we can't really discuss in a family-friendly?
It could be if you wanted. Hello. Ooh, hello.
Yeah.
Hey, it's the model making dog.
It's like a nature program. It's like a nature program tonight.
I know. We've got Swifts, we've got puppy dogs, we've got Heinrich, we've got everything living in TK's beard.
Puffins.
Puffins pretending to be an eagle.
Dogs.
Puffins.
Shall I go get the chicken?
Yeah, go and get the chicken, Ted. Go and get the chicken.
She gets sold off, so she's quiet now.
Aw, poor puppy.
Right, we've got any more questions? Question from Chris is gone. Do you know, I moved to get the question, and the whole thing scrolls about 13 feet. There we go. When was the last time the entire treehouse was a couple down tonight? Chris, that question makes no sense. You're an idiot. do you want to rewrite that with an actual sentence? That might be a good idea.
I think he's meaning how long since the whole treehouse has been together.
Oh right, never.
No, we've still got. No, I don't think it ever has it? We've still got.
No, I had it once. I had it once with both Ant and Tony were there, and all the rest of us. But that was ages ago, way back at the start, I think.
Yeah, back in the old days when the world was smaller and there were different times. But
yeah, Brandon has only been part of a test when we were first talking about doing podcasts. He was part of a test, and he hasn't been able to be a part of it at all.
That's because his roommates just kind of dive in and photobomb constantly as well, which doesn't help.
Yeah.
Matthew Drake has a question for you, Foxx.
Okay.
Question. Foxx posted up a pic of the Space Present car. Can you remember a program around about the same time called Space Above and Beyond? When I rewatched it, it's not when I remember it, but it was still good.
I vaguely remember Space Above and Beyond, but I only vaguely remember it for like watching a few episodes and realizing it was terrible. And
I did like Space Above and Beyond, except for the acting.
I see. The only thing I remember on it is that it's in Mad Magazine they took the mickey of it and called it Space Behind and Between, and that seemed more appropriate.
And it's pretty damn nice spaceships and things like that.
I actually remember nothing about it, to be honest. But
I know the name, but I can't remember anything about the show.
They had the hammerheads, and then the fighter spacecraft jet things. Yeah, it was pretty nice.
But to explain his question,
except the last 2 episodes were really like.
I don't remember anything about it. Nothing at all. Was it?
It was just one
like,
season. It shouldn't have been more than 1 season anyway. But.
Was it kind of put forward as a slightly more realistic kind of thing, or was it just? I get this impression it was supposed to be like a slightly more realistic, less sci-fi type thing. Was it? Or
I got the more or less of a Warhammer vibe out of it. Really.
I'll have to look it up and see. But yeah, this question
because the humans versus the aliens, and the humans were shooting bullets at aliens who were kind of immune for the bullets. Space Marine versus whatever alien thing.
Hey, it worked on Independence Day.
Yeah, it did. But yeah, it was a really meh. And
the thing about Independence Day, right? And here's the question: is that the guy flies his plane into the big weapon at the bottom of the mothership and it destroys it. But what then remains unspoken is that what they basically say is the way we can take these ships down is that one of you is going to have to kamikaze into it.
Yeah.
They never dwell on that. It's like, how are you going to...
The only reason he did that is because no one had any missiles left.
Yeah.
That's the only reason he had to do that. But the other one's doing it can get a missile through to there, then,
maybe
fire a missile up the Jinxy instead of flying up there yourself.
Yeah, but the thing is you are assuming that American military communications would actually say fire a missile instead of saying, well, we just had a pilot fly their ship into the main weapon and it blew it up.
So let's do that.
Right, anyone pick a pilot that you don't like and send him on the suicide mission to kill off the aliens, yeah.
Well, typical American military would then be to say, right, we flew a plane in there and blew it up, so if we want to improve that, we'll just fly a bigger plane.
Fly a whole squadron up there and you should be right. Yeah.
They'll just say, engage the enemy.
Engage the enemy.
You're on your own now, dude.
We have engaged the enemy.
Yeah, put a ring on our finger.
Does anyone else think that the movies that came after Babylon 5 series sort of ruined it? That the
I didn't like Babylon 5. I've just alienated a bit.
You go away then, and the rest of us can talk about Babylon.
I'll turn my mic. I'll turn the microphone off. You guys talk about it.
Are we going to talk about Babylon 5? Because I'm going to leave the room if we do.
Oh, come on. What's wrong with you people? Babylon 5.
I actually saw a clip of it the other day and was like, wow, this looks like actors on a set. I was watching
I like Babylon 5. I love the ships, the White Star and the...
Babylon 5 had a few reasonable episodes, but...
I hate to say this, I'd rather watch Babylon 5 than Lex.
Oh God, Lex! I can't ever unsee. I watched the first episode of Lex.
Yeah,
and it was.
Yeah.
I can't.
Did it make you nauseous? Did it make you want to throw up a little?
I may have
We may be giving that too much painting time now.
Sci-fi overlay.
Yeah. Let's move on from the sci-fi. Everybody ask questions about tanks and U-boats.
Okay, U-boat question. Ted, did you see the post in the boom hut? Did I say that right? The completed U-boat with all the lights and the moving propeller thingy at the back.
Ted.
Hello.
I'm listening. Yeah. I'm just googling all these episodes, all these things that you're on about, so I could just.
You can type in with. Oh yeah, I know about that. How did you see that completed build of your U-boat? And
did you know in episode 4 of Babylon 5? Yeah, that the main character said, "I wish." Carry on.
So anyway, back to the question we asked Ted half an hour ago.
Beyond Hope says, how many portholes do a Type 7s have a U-boat have on its right side? You mean its starboard side? Yeah, you've gone wrong there. I can't answer that because you said right side.
And does it mean the free-flowing vents?
It's just like Seaview that has the full one at the front.
Yes, the actual question, Ted, was: did you see the video on the boom hut with the U-boat with the moving propellers? It's the one you're building.
No, I didn't see that one. I'll have to have a go.
Excellent. Next question.
Okay, moving on. Back to sci-fi.
Yeah, some of us actually read the boom hut.
Question.
Miskatonic University podcast says it's pronounced solder. No, it's not. It should be solder. Solder.
There's no in it.
Yeah, it's like if you give me money for something, I have sold it to you. I've not sold it.
Yeah,
to
but
you.
sod it.
Yeah, I've not sold it. I've sold it. Sold it.
Sod is a piece of ground. Dig up the sod of earth.
Now, obviously, there are different pronunciations in sort of New Zealand and Australian accents. Well, we forgive those because they sound awesome, like boss, things like that, because they sound awesome. Sodder, never got that.
Boss.
Voss is of this.
Voss.
Look at Voss.
Look at that.
I love the Kiwi accent.
Fish and chips.
Fish and chips. It's like when the Americans say herb. We'll move on from that conversation. That's going to get into violence now, isn't it?
Got oregano and oregano and what's the other one they do?
All the other ones.
Oh, aluminum.
Miskatonic also says Ted about his U-boat. I expect that to be a watertight model.
Now, do you know, I've on a Facebook site, and somebody has actually bought this kit and thrown all the insides away and just using the hull. So
What?
Wow, that's basically paying 400 quid for about 6 pieces of plastic.
yeah, that's about it. Yeah, because they're going to make it into a working model. Yeah, more part of the elbow, but it's.
I'm sure there must be cheaper fiberglass U-boats out there of the same size.
I'm sure that there is. You know, I'm sure there's a way of doing it so that you wouldn't have to pay 500 quid, then just throw all the bits away.
Miskatonic says, you guys say things like military and library. You go nowhere to judge. Well, we say military and library, but we often slang it to military and library. Library. Shut up.
Library.
We invented the words, all the words.
Yeah, it's our English.
Yeah,
right.
we invented it. You guys just kind of borrowed it. We still haven't paid for that, by the way. We've got the royalties on it. Let's have a look. What else have we got? Isn't a fidget spinner a yo-yo without the yo-yo?
Yes.
I've got one of those.
I know. I got one from my mum and she can't.
One.
I got one from my mum and she can't do it. This was literally the first time I've heard a Brit say it fully, says Mr. Library. Well, we would typically say library, but the thing is there's so many regional accents in the UK that you travel. The thing, because my brother moved to the States about 25 years ago and his wife obviously was born in the States. She came over to visit once. And the thing that amazed her most about the UK was that she could drive for like 5 minutes and go through 3 different accents. Whereas in the States, obviously you drive for 3 days and you're still in the same county. She said, I can't believe like we've driven for half an hour and we've gone through like 8 different accents. And how do you know where people are from and stuff? So it depends where you are. If you're different parts of the UK will pronounce things differently. But if you use the standard received pronunciation, it would be library and whatever, military.
No.
Military.
Library.
Library.
A bit weird. Like,
Drive half an hour from Manchester
with
and you're in Liverpool.
Yeah. Hey, Liverpool.
Hey.
it sounds like that's weird with the Americans and the British. You got so many different accents across your country, whereas like Australia and New Zealand, like I know New Zealand's quite small, but it's all pretty much the same accent everywhere you go. And same with Australia, really. There's not really that much difference in accent across the country.
Well, that's
Whereas
the scary thing.
Australia,
Like,
America and England, it's like so different across the countries, yeah.
Well,
because I mean,
Try Dutch. I can't understand the guy in the next village.
Yeah.
It's a whole different accent than I do. It's like, you what, mate?
Sounds like Holland is made up of villages.
On that point, Vincent says, come to Belgium, 5 different accents in Flemish alone and 3 separate official languages. All I can say is that's my entire ability.
Yeah, we don't even use in the southern part of the Netherlands and in the northern part of Belgium, we don't have that sound. We don't do.
And I was disappointed, TK, that some of the snacks you sent me actually had everything in English. I was like,
yeah, I didn't look at that.
Miskatonic says he thinks of Hot Fuzz. They needed a translator for the translator. Yeah, London accents and Southern accents can be quite. You what, mate? You know what I mean? Yeah, mate. Yeah. What? It is kind of a thing of national pride that we have so many different accents in the UK. You could take some parts of the UK. You could take an American state, which would be say half the size of the entire country of England, and there'd be one accent. Yeah, we'd have like hundreds of them.
Yeah, it's like you take Georgia, which is the size of the UK.
Yeah. Scott says Orkney and Shetland have totally different accents. I have to admit, though, that kind of really northern Scottish crofter, soft, lilting accent that's crossed in like English and Scottish and a bit of Dutch and Viking ancestry. I love that. I don't very soft. I can't do it. The sort of soft, fluffy S's and things. It's such a nice accent to listen to. Oh yes,
sort of whiskey galore type accent.
Yes. Everything's like I can't do it in my head. I can hear it, but like whistly S's and things. Yes, I can't do it.
Just try it. It's not difficult.
No, because I just no.
Well, Adam just mentioned there about the size of where he lived, the size of the place where he lives. I met an Australian on the boat the other day, and I said, "Oh, where are you from?" "I'm from Brisbane." "Oh, right. I've been to Brisbane. Yeah, I live 300 kilometres away from Brisbane." So he was from Brisbane. It's like us saying, "Where do you live?" "Well, I live in London."
Because we're not. We're like 300 miles away from London.
There isn't 300 kilometers in my country.
Where are you from? Scotland. Where are you from? Glasgow. Where are you from? Glasgow. Where do you live? Manchester.
You just don't realise how big the place is. Never mind accents. It's just a huge amount of space out
there. Let's have a look.
The entire the population of like a city in Australia or a city in England or America, whatever, is the entire population of our country. So,
Will's got pussy.
Got, like, meow meow. Meow meow.
Meow meow.
No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
Well, except she's not bald, so it's the wrong type of cat.
No, she's not wearing a Nehru jacket either, so. Who's making farty noises?
Not me.
Ted, are you trying to sand something or file something?
I tell you what, though, I need to change my wet palette because it stinks.
Yeah, a couple of days.
Yeah.
That was actually me. I got my fidget thing, and I was.
I thought maybe you'd eaten something rather extravagant and it was having an effect.
Oh my God, there's a serious question in the chat.
Oh shit!
Can't say what it's about a fidget and a cat.
How did Ted and Fox Tony get picked up by models on a funny note? Blah blah blah. We've answered that before.
Yeah, we just pestered them and pestered them and pestered them and kept going.
Well, for me, eModels put a thing out saying, "Hey, does anybody out there do YouTube and would you want to make some videos for us?" So I sent them a thing saying, "I'll give it a go. I've never done one, but I'll give it a try." And I did the Viper build. So they asked the people. I think Ted, you were the same, weren't you?
Yeah, exactly the same. I think we joined about the same time. Yeah, they put
out a request for it. And I think Tony was the same because at the time they had Paul Bretland from ISM who was doing the videos for them. He then went off to do his own stuff, so I think he was moving away from that, and they were looking for other people to come in and do videos. So I was like, I'll give it a go, and I did the Viper build, and they seemed to not hate it completely. So, but that was good for years ago.
Yeah, we had to send in a CV of models and test things and things like that. So
I had to find a couple of dancing girls and send them over.
Yeah, it was a big bribe though. It was a big bribe.
Yeah. You're out of focus again, Ted. You're having thoughts about dancing girls and you've gone out of focus.
Sorry, it's just
skip the arms.
Just so you can't.
It's something similar with
details in this fresh tone book.
They sort of did something similar with Peter Jackson doing the Dam Busters movie, and they put a call out for modelers to build Lancaster bombers for them for the movie. I don't know whatever came of it. I didn't do planes, so I couldn't do it. But they put a call out for anyone that could build a model for them to build one and send it into.
Wait, wasn't that a Weta thing? That enormous building full of hundreds of model makers. It was Weta, wasn't it? That did the Dam Busters, the recent one.
Yeah, it's Weta. Well, they haven't actually. I don't think they even started filming it, but I know Weta's done full-size replicas of the plane.
So basically, basically, we've got like 3,000 professional model makers in this building. But if you can make a model of a Lancaster bomber, can you contact us?
But then again, the amount of work that Weta's doing on other things is just like.
That's true.
Actually, it's kind of fun. You watch pretty much any movie with special effects in it now, and you're sitting there like, there, Weta Digital, saw them. It's like,
yeah,
they're getting a name into everything.
Just going on to when I was saying it before about Paul Bretland doing the video 3 models. Vincent says Paul's the UMP promo guy now. Almost right. UMP is Paul. Paul is UMP. It's his baby. So, I don't know. I'm guessing that Paul stopped doing the video 3 models because he wanted to focus on UMP, which is his business. It's really good stuff. So he stopped doing the models videos, and they were looking for people to come in.
Yeah.
Smooth says
Weta is behind Wingnut Wings. Yes, it is, because Peter Jackson's a big fan of World War One aircraft, so he helped to set up Wingnut Wings. Wingnut is what his nickname when he was in school, by the way.
bloody Wingnut. Smooth says this chicken noodle soup is brow, by the way. Hey, I like chicken noodle soup. That was a really bad. See, my dad was from Glasgow, so I like to think I can do a decent Scottish accent, but I can't.
So
I can do a wee bit, but not
Rabsy
much.
Nesbitt.
Hey?
It sounded like Rabsy Nesbitt.
I know, I channel a wee bit of what I've seen this, but I don't have a Scottish accent. I can't do it very well, but I do a wee bit here and there.
Yeah, we apologise to all our Scottish watchers.
Yeah, Smooth sitting there now going, oh, for God's sake. Away in Belgian he'd. Also, I have to adjust my volume because I can't do a Scottish accent without going loud.
It's a brown look tonight.
Miskatonic says Ted's in soft focus, so he looks pretty.
Yeah.
I'm pretty, oh so pretty. Let's have a look. Brow, not brow. For fuck's sake, he says. Bro. Yes. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
I never said it was a good Scottish accent.
Yeah, for anybody that deep fries Mars bars.
Vincent says you bought heat for trying that, Fox. I know. Away, not away. Haha, so funny. I know. This is how my dad used to talk. My dad was from Glasgow. So, you know, I had to go for my dad used to say.
He'd lost his accent by the time I was growing up, because my granddad had the accent. And my auntie did as well, which is weird because all came over at the same time. But my dad had no accent. It was weird.
Well, my dad was born and grew up in Glasgow, and he lived there for like the first 20 years of his life, and then moved to England. But when I was born, you know, when I was a kid, he spoke like me. He didn't have a Scottish accent at all, and that's only like 15 years. So he went from being hey, I'm from Glasgow, just to literally just sounding like me. But when he got a little bit tipsy, or when he was, you know, pissed off with something, or when he was just being silly, he'd put on his proper Glasgow accent, and it'd be like, yes.
I was just wondering if, like, you pissed him off when you were a kid or something. The Scottish accent came out when he was yelling at you or something.
No, my dad was the kind of person that if he did something wrong, he wouldn't be angry. He'd just be disappointed, and that was a lot more crushing than anger. He'd be there going, I'm just so disappointed in you now. And you'd be like, oh.
Yeah, the big sigh.
Yeah, like, and the look, and you'd be like, that's just better than shouting, because shouting doesn't do anything, but being disappointed, that's
a parent trick.
Yeah, it's all psychology. Question, why is Ted the only one who's working on a model?
Because I'm awesome.
He's hardcore and street.
Because if I was, you wouldn't be able to hear me over the sound of the airbrush.
Yeah, TK would be too busy sticking his tongue out to talk. He'd be like, oh, la, 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 la.
Yeah,
like Jar Jar.
Or if everyone just stopped messaging me in the meanwhile, I could be.
While I'm doing the model, it just stops me opening and shutting the drawers while you're in the middle of a live stream and rattling things. It just keeps me quiet.
Yeah,
and he wouldn't even see Adam because he'd be down in the dungeon. He wouldn't see Adam because he'd be down in the dungeon.
Yeah.
Scott says he's posted a video of an Orkney accent. Oh yes, I can't do one. I can hear it in my head. It's all kind of round and squishy, and I love it.
We'll have to practice it. We'll all have to practice for the next Treehouse hangout, and we'll have a discussion in Orkney.
Vincent says it's weird, but when I'm drunk, I sound Scottish according to English friends. I blame that one guy I used to game with who's from the Highlands. Hey, right? Well,
maybe it's getting drunk on whiskey that does it. So if you get drunk on vodka, do you sound like
no?
Smooth says, how often do you guys do these informal hangouts? Theoretically, it's the second. Well, officially we have the second Saturday of every month if we can all get together, which is why today is Sunday, not Saturday, because we weren't all available yesterday. Theoretically, there should be at least one on the second Saturday of every month. 1 month will be this normal Treehouse. The next month will be a Patreon only one for Patreon. Then the next month will be a Treehouse. But if we can all get together in the meantime, we'll do another one informally, just ad hoc, and we'll give you like a day's notice or something. Because we're all in different parts of the world, you know, because Will's upside down and the rest of us are normal. It gets really hard with the time zones. So we try and commit to a Saturday, the second Saturday, or the day after in this case.
Well, it's like what that guy said about trying to do an online gaming session. I'd be all for it. I'm like, could we ever all get in the same room to actually do a gaming session?
Oh yeah, for the D&D. Yes, he was. Vincent was saying about doing that. Was it?
Yeah, it was Vincent. Yeah.
Yes, it was Vincent, wasn't it? Yeah.
Vincent.
It sounds pretty good. It's like you might need an extra meg of RAM. I did explain that both mine, Ted's, and Will's computers may actually explode because they're all made in like 1923. Yeah. My PC struggles now, even with just this Chrome window open.
Yeah, my PC's got valves in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, does Ted still have the old vacuum tubes?
Ted's got the little beads that you slide along. Ted's his little.
I'll just cast magic missile at the darkness. So.
Magic missile. You are eaten by a group.
And do you think I could play a game? Can you see me playing a game?
I don't know, because I quite fancy the idea of it. Because I mean, I've watched people play Dungeons and Dragons, and somebody posted up. I think it might have been Vincent again. Posted up a link to the Penny Arcade one where they play, and I've seen that before, and it's hilarious. And I've watched Giant Bomb guys do Pathways into Darkness. Was it Pathways? I can't remember what it was called. They did got a group of them and had this informal game. They never played it, and it can be really funny if you kind of don't take it too seriously. So I've always fancied it, but at the minute it's the technical difficulty of getting our computers to do it, and also getting us all together in the same room. But
and Dungeons and Dragons is math the game, you know.
Yeah, but we certainly take it.
Or it used to be.
Think about it.
You see, I've got this, and at the moment I've had it for 3 weeks, and I haven't left port yet. Yeah. I can't get aboard the submarine.
Believe it or not, though, I mean, I've played games where we've had a person who's never played before. They've always made it more interesting because they will do the stupid stuff and they will do the fun stuff that we were like, no, we have to play this game proper. And then somebody would be like, oh, I've never tried this. Let's throw this person over a cliff.
Well, I was watching the Giant Bomb one, and because only one of them had played it before, one or two of them. So they come up to this cave entrance, and the DM's there, Matt Rory, and he says, "You're outside this cave. There's an entrance. There's a giant statue. Blah blah blah." So Vinny Caravella says, "Okay, well, can I just smash the statue up?" So he's like, "If you want to, you'd have to do a skill check and throw to." So he smashes the statue. Says, "Right, can I pick up the arm and use that as my weapon?" He's like, "Yeah, if you want, it's fine. You want to give it some stats." Because I didn't know what his arms are supposed to and not supposed to do. So like, cool. Can I smash it up? Yeah, okay.
Ages ago that the missus got on PlayStation, Ratchet and Clank, if anyone's played it, and she was going through it and she got stuck on a level, so asked me to start playing it to get to that level, to get past it for her, and then got pissed off at me because I kept on playing the game after I got past it. But like, well, don't ask me to play a game if you don't expect me to carry on playing it.
Yeah, I must admit, actually, last couple of months I've been stuck on, not stuck, but I've kind of got back into Borderlands. Since me, Paul, and Chris were going to do a Borderlands live stream, and then realised you can't live stream Borderlands. I've been back playing it. Put my other games to one side, and sometimes it's just fun to go back to an older game. Borderlands is so good.
Started playing Mass Effect Andromeda the other day. That's good.
Isn't it good?
Good game. Oh yeah. I've done the first scene of the game, and it's like, already it's like, yeah, okay, this is a good game.
Did you have the sweats?
Oh yeah, because I played all the Mass Effect trilogy, and it's like looking forward to it, and then got on. It's like,
Shepard.
Oh, this is good.
Yeah, it's not got Rex in it though, so.
No, it's good. It's a good game.
Shepard. I take it you haven't, Shepard. I take it you haven't tried. I'll stop doing that. I take it you haven't tried Density yet, then.
No, not yet. I only stuck on the Andromeda and played it for about an hour or so, and then had to go to bed. Working the next day, better go to bed.
Yeah, Sleepy Kiwi kicks in.
No good sleeping at the desk.
Let's have a look. Where was I up to? Ted Boots, Hose Up, and Cortana says, "Welcome to Windows 3.1. How can I crash you?"
Yeah, I think that's what I'm running on, Windows 2. Yeah.
Windows Air? It's a Canadian version.
Windows?
Let's have a look. Heidi Peeps just got home from work, says Lynn Dipple. Hi, Lynn.
Crash Bandicoot and World of Tanks for me at the moment from Nate Bliss. Crash Bandicoot, I want to get that game.
They've just re-released, haven't they? A remastered version.
Yes, I want to get it. I've played all the original ones, and I want to get the remastered one. So.
Smooth says, "Are the Treehouse all gamers except Ted?" Probably. I don't know, actually. Adam, do you game, Adam?
I don't do PC games. I do like role play games and stuff like that.
Okay.
So, I'm not a
video gamer.
No, never could. But the thing is every time I would be like, okay, I'm finally going to get into something. Yeah, then that system becomes obsolete and they don't sell the games anymore. And I just like, screw that. I'm not going to waste money.
Wait, what was the last system you tried to buy in Intellivision?
Actually, the system I got right now is one of the original Wii's.
Oh, yeah, that was a bad move.
Sega Master System.
You should try to get that C64.
Let's put it this way. Is it Jonathan over in the Boom Hut who does IT stuff? He's trying to talk me into building my own computer.
Oh.
And I'm like,
No, it's really easy.
You see, I do have gaming, but the family object when you have to unplug the telly to plug the game.
Yeah.
What?
And Ted froze.
Won't let you do it.
Ted froze.
Ted ran out of RAM.
Yeah, unplugged something when he's talking about unplugging the TV.
Let's have a look. Vincent says, "Fox, Ted, the benevolent dungeon master. Now that will go so hilariously wrong."
Sorry, you lost me.
He's saying you should be the dungeon master. You'd be the benevolent, the one in charge.
All right.
You're the one there going, you walk into a room, blah, 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 and had this happens, what do you want to do? And you say, I cast this, and you say, yeah, there's a demon, he can't be killed, you're dead. See ya.
All right.
Fox should build a PC. No. A very good friend of mine actually makes my PCs for me when I can afford to pay him to make them for me. So it's been about 8 years since he made the last one. I need to get him to make me a new one that is designed specifically for video production. The one I'm using now was designed specifically for drawing and music production, which means it's absolute pants at video production. So yeah, it's got a sound card that I never used because it wasn't very good for the music. It's got a FireWire socket. Who the hell uses FireWire anymore? I had a controller keyboard that used FireWire, so I needed a FireWire socket. Nowadays,
it even seems like SCART has gone out these days. I tried to plug something in the back of the telly the other day, and there's no SCART socket in the TV.
SCART's like 10 years.
SCART's like 1995. Hello.
There's nowhere to plug in your beta recorder or anything.
Where's the RF socket?
I can't find any videotapes to record anything anymore.
Where's me
I can't plug a Betamax video into the telly now.
We were talking about this at work the other day, and even with CD writers and stuff, it's like even those are obsolete now because you don't even need a USB stick anymore. You just stream everything on, music and stuff. You don't even.
I was clearing out the other day
to make up music CDs and stuff, and now you just stream everything on Spotify.
Yeah. Well, I was clearing out the other day, and I actually found a box of floppy disks.
Oh yeah,
I had 10 packs of 10 disks, all unopened and unsealed because I bought them because one of my synthesizers required 2DD floppy disks. So I bought 130 of them and then never used them. So I've stuck them on eBay. I'm stuck up on eBay now because somebody will need them.
The small ones are really
3.5-inch double density emulsion disc.
The ones you could drill a hole through, and then they became a high density one.
Yeah, quite possibly. If you know anyone that If you know
Think of
anyone,
unused CDs.
I've got one though. If you know anyone that needs to buy 130 double density 3.5-inch floppy disks, drop me a note. I've got them for
High
sale,
density.
they're for sale on eBay. So
Well, you could use them for coasters.
yeah. Well, the thing is, a lot of people, there are a lot of old legacy systems out there that still use them, so that's why people still buy them. And old keyboards and synthesizers. My old Roland W30, it used double density disks. So if you've got one, you have to use those disks.
Yeah, I was going to say you can actually I mean, they might actually be worth something if you put them out on eBay because people like those old systems or.
Well, I had a look around, and it seems to be about £10 for a pack of 10. So I put them all on as job lot for 129 quid for 130 discs.
Is anybody watching it?
I don't know. I've had I've got two things on eBay. I've got one thing, my Tau Piranha's on eBay, and it's on an open-ended one where it never ends until it gets sold. And there's 3 people watching it, and it's like, what are you watching for? It's never going to end until somebody buys it. It's not an auction.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that. I just saw something on eBay as well, so I didn't know you could do that.
Let's have a look. Foxx has an African colony that's after some. Yeah, probably is. There is a lot of old. You'd be surprised how many companies out there have old legacy.
Doesn't Russia still use them in the space program?
Yeah, I worked in an office that had all its modern systems, but there was also an old database that was like 25 years old, but they couldn't get rid of it, and they had to have this old IBM PC with the 5.5-inch discs running. Because it was stuff they couldn't transfer to a newer database. They had to have it running for various reasons, just for some old legacy accounts.
Or just core business. But
Alex says 5.25-inch or 3.5-inch. They were. So if anybody needs to buy 130 double density iMation 3M floppy disks, 3.5-inch, 1 meg storage, $9.99 for a pack of 10. There you go. Give me a shout.
1 meg. Wow, that's huge.
1 entire meg.
No. Double density was 720 KB.
It says 1 meg on the box.
Yeah, it does. The HD one said 2 megs on the box, but it was 1.44.
Startup sequence for this Soyuz capsules.
Yeah, it's actually about 720, but it says a meg. So
but you could just win like half a movie on there.
I don't know. You could get Space Ace fit on 6 discs. I remember Space Ace, and that was a bit like a movie. It wasn't really like a movie. Space Ace. Who remembers
playing the games and you're going along and then you're playing and then like, right, insert disc number 2. Oh, put on disc number 2. Carry on playing the game.
The days when games came on multiple discs.
No. With the Commodore 64, when you had to just after the tape stream, when you had to turn over the disc.
Oh yeah.
While it was still loading. Yes, it's finished loading. Turn over the disc.
Did anyone get into the
Go on.
Did anyone get into the mini disc phase? Remember them?
No.
Sony brought out the mini disc. It's just like another type of floppy disk. It's a mini CD inside a hard case. It's for radio, it's audio and stuff.
I did for a very short time have a zip disk, zip drive with the zip discs.
I remember them. Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't last long.
The car I bought a while back, and it had a mini disc player in it, and it still had the Japanese mini disc in it. It was brilliant. It was like Japanese hardcore rock. It was awesome.
Japanese hardcore rock. Philly says you remember Strip Poker was a 7-discer. Yeah, Strip Poker's always a 7-discer.
It was.
Timber says, can you recommend a good workbench lamp?
LED.
LED. Yep. Go for LED. Try and get make sure it's daylight light color. Especially if you're just building and make it doesn't really matter. But if you ever intend on filming your builds, go for LED. It'll last you 10 years. They don't get as hot, and they give you a more natural daylight color. The ones I've got adjustable color and brightness, but the ones I've got don't seem to exist anymore. But go for LEDs and look for adjustable brightness and shade.
And it's also about the position of where you have your lamps, because you can't just have one lamp. You need to have like multiple positions if you're filming, though, so you don't get shadows and stuff like that.
Yeah, if you're no intention of filming this stuff, it doesn't really matter. Just get some good light. But LEDs are cheaper because they'll last you for years rather than bulbs.
I can get one of these lights from work.
Vincent says, Will, I remember when DVD and CD drives came with the little slot for those mini discs and the oddly shaped mini discs.
Oh, yeah.
So, yes, I put those floppy disks on sale on eBay. Somebody will buy them. You'd be surprised. People still buy 8-track cartridges. So,
still out there. People still want it. Never throw it away.
Yeah. There's somebody out there will be using it.
It's funny because
Monkey
actually,
Island. Oh, man. I remember Monkey Island.
Yeah.
Game Monkey Island. 13 discs on Amiga. I remember that game.
Yeah, I remember that.
Sorry, I interrupted Adam.
no, it was. I was just thinking. I mean, there was a news article I read recently where LP albums are back on the rise for sale because the kids today are finding out how much they are better than digital. I mean, it's funny that we're going full. I mean, I hate to say it, we're going full circle, going from the old LPs to cassettes to CDs to digital files, and now we're going back to the old LPs.
The thing is,
because you can't play CDs backwards. The devil wants you. The devil wants you. The devil wants you.
That's true.
Paul is dead. Paul is dead. Paul. But that's the thing is with technology, you'll find that like most technologies, it'll change and go out of date. Like Betamax, nobody gives a shit about Betamax.
Yes.
Apart from it's still used in scientific production. But when it comes to things like music, when it comes to things like music, it will never really die out because some people will want to go back to the LP and the vinyl sound or the cassette, the audio cassette, because they have different characteristics. So for things like video and stuff, they'll always go for the best technology. When it comes to like fun times, like music, they'll never really die away. There'll always be a place for like vinyl recordings, especially for a bit of that.
Listen to stuff on like say on Spotify and stuff, and then I drive to work and I chuck a CD in the car, and the same track sounds so much different off a CD than what it does off a digital stream from Spotify. Like you can hear the bass a lot more clearer and everything. It's like not just the radio settings, but it's just the playback of it itself. It's
just because it's just heavily compressed for transmission. That's why.
Yeah. So I lose a lot of information.
It's the same with recording it to your cassette.
Chris Williams does say, "Do not Google 3.5-inch floppies."
There goes Ted.
Where's the 5?
See, I've got to be honest and say I actually only stopped having a car with a cassette player in it in about 2004.
Oh,
so but that's just because I used to buy crappy old cars. So I really now need to get. Right now, I've got a car. I've got my little Ford Fiesta with its built-in CD player. And it's like great, apart from I've got one CD in there, and it's like I'm bored of this tune. I need to get an MP3 playing device so I can just put a memory stick in. At some point, I'll be kicked and screaming into the 21st century.
Oh, 3-4 months ago, I got a new stereo for the car, and I wanted one for USB ports so I can plug a USB stick in and play music. That's specifically why I got it. And the missus was like, "So have you put any USB music?" No. The only reason I got it, I haven't even used it yet.
Mine just takes CDs with MP3s on, written on them. So.
Studio Draven's in with us. Nate Bliss says Spotify is rubbish for 30-minute long prog rock epics. Yeah.
Prog rock rubbish anyway.
Banned. What else we got? Anybody got any question? Oh yeah, question. Do you guys have another hobby next to modeling? This is from Rody. Question: do you guys have another hobby? Let me get those words out again. Do you guys have another hobby next to modeling? Mine is geocaching. I like the idea of geocaching. What do you guys do apart from the model making and the daily job? Any other hobbies for you guys?
Sleeping.
Yeah, curly up Kiwi.
Sleeping and eating and farting.
They're not hobbies. That's just profession. That's different. That's a contractual obligation.
It's when you combine all three together.
Evil Monkey's offered you his car stereo. It's got Bluetooth and USB. Well, you're in.
I don't do Bluetooth. That's for the cool kids. There's a USB on it, and it's got to fit into a Ford dashboard template. So, sorry about that. Circa 2002.
Major construction. Just get some of the gaffer tape. Just gaffer tape it to your dashboard.
Yeah.
So I guess that nobody else has any other hobbies apart from model making.
Well, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
But Will was still talking about his farting, so.
Okay. everything stops for Will's farting, and usually after Will's farting.
I've got gardening and hanging out in the woods in nature.
Oh, hang on a minute. No, this is a family show.
The animals doing their things and watching my crazy dog
Eating the animals.
doing. Yeah,
I like nature and
finding mud. She does kind of go on a search for fresh mud to lay in. Typically on the way home.
That's what dogs do.
I got to watch my dog kill and eat a rabbit, and that I won't go into details, but man, it was awesome. So far out.
And yet, when it's not, it can be a great hunter, but when it's at home, it's just a dumb dog.
Yeah. Go get the bird. No. Stuff in there.
On that note, has anybody ever had roadkill?
No.
No.
You need to expand on this one now, Ted. You can't just leave it at that.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm from Georgia. I think that was in our school meals. It was still horse meat.
Adam actually went to a Chuck E. Cheese when he was a kid, so he's had roadkill.
Yeah.
Would anybody dare to have roadkill?
Yeah, I would. Possum pie. Try that one time.
Possibly.
Give it a go.
I know when I used to drive to Penrith during the winter, I used to drive a particular route, and I'd check the road on the way up, and then I'd check the road on the way back, and if there was roadkill, I knew it was fresh. So, oh yes, I love that. Yeah, I used to come up with a boot full of pheasant and rabbit, and plus being in the winter, it was chilled.
Yeah, I can honestly say I've had roadkill because I actually hit a deer one time and killed it. And we actually loaded it up and took it home and stripped it down.
Driving at the deer doesn't count, though.
Wait, is this a kind of case of we hit this deer driving and oh look, I just happen to have all the equipment to tie it to the hood of the car? What a horrendous accident!
It's part of the normal driving package of a Georgia truck.
Smoo says, I ride a bike, roadkill equals death, usually especially if it's over a deer. Ooh.
Yeah.
And then he also says he would eat honey badger. Yeah, but honey badger don't care.
Yeah.
Honey badger
horse
do not care. If you're going to eat honey badger, you've got to kill it first. You're not going to eat honey badger. It's not going to happen.
Honey badger will eat you.
Yeah. That's the one thing I loved about playing Far Cry 4. Is you're out in the wilds and there's all these animals and like cougars and tigers and lions and all kinds of stuff going on. They're all dangerous. The most dangerous animal in the entire game, bearing in mind you've got like leopards and tigers and things, was the honey badger. It was the most dangerous animal in the whole game. And it was like, yes. I actually got an achievement for killing a honey badger because it was so hard to kill it. Vincent says, Adam, don't mock horse meat. It's a delicacy over here and in France. Makes for nice steaks. I've had horse. Unfortunately, it was in a sauce that was really horrible, so I'd never got to taste what the horse tasted like.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I will eat just about anything. Don't tell me what it is at first. That's the thing. I got to trick my mind and say, okay, I like this, and then you tell me, okay, it's horse nuts. So it's like, okay.
Horse balls. Lynn says, Adam, glad you didn't get caught. I'm from Texas.
Yep. No, actually, when we called and filed we have down in Georgia, part of the thing for insurance is you had to get a police report. And we said, hey, look, what do we do with the deer? They're like, we don't care.
Smooth says,
yeah, then do what you want.
Just leave it over there. I'll sort it out for you later.
Yeah, Smooth says he's just playing Far Cry 4 now. I think it was Far Cry 4. He says he's not met a honey badger yet, thank goodness. Yeah, one of the things is you have to kill a honey badger. So yeah, good luck with that. Bows and arrows, not the best choice. What else is going on there? I think I've actually caught up with the chat now. If anybody's got a question we've not answered yet, do please repeat it because we've probably missed it. Anything else from you guys? Anything you guys want to talk about?
No, going back to the hobby question, I do RC stuff, like RC cars and quads and airplanes.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, because we've seen you flying over your house and filming all the neighbours in the gardens and things. Unofficially.
Yeah, I used to do, obviously I used to do radio RC ships. It was quite
That's
fun.
what I want to get into. I always loved watching those videos where they do the balsa wood battleships and have BB guns in them and do actual battle.
Yeah, that would be good.
You won't wake up.
I wouldn't mind having a go of drone racing. You know, where you wear the little sort of headset and you actually see the POV of the drone and you go through loops and stuff. I saw a video the other day and it was some company that makes these drones about this big, and you can actually the design. The what? The nickname I've always called them is Tiny Whoops. It's the little quads that have the FPV. Yep. Yeah, and they've got a little camera on, and basically it's designed so you can set up a race course in your living room. You get like 4 of them, and they just whiz through these little hoops, and they're like this big. And I'm like, oh, that'd be awesome, just with the visor on, so you can see the POV of the drone. I actually took one of those FPV cameras and put it in a racing car, and I'll put goggles on people and then make them sick doing donuts and stuff. It's great. Yes.
There's only a cheapy one, but I got it so I can paint them.
That doesn't sound like BB-8.
Nah, it sounds nothing like them. Like I said, it's a cheap piece of crap, but I got it so I can paint it.
Yes.
But he moves and everything. Yeah.
Well,
I need
you
to see if
need
I
to
can
get one
crack
of
into the Sphero ones. I want to see if I can crack into the brains of it and change the sound.
Crack into its brain.
Yeah,
Why does it sound like Why does it sound like somebody torturing a small child?
Retarded.
Wait, how do you know how torturing a small child sounds like?
Well, everyone knows how torturing a small child sounds like.
You never been in a room where there's a small child having to watch something like Emmerdale or something. That's torture, trust me.
Yeah.
Scott asked a question. He did ask it before. I did see it, and it was totally slipped my mind. He said, "Do I have a twin? Has he seen my twin in Tesco?"
There's only one Tesco's, Ted. It must have been.
There's only one Tesco. You sure he wasn't me? He saw. Now, strange as this may seem, but I've for months, used to walk around town doing shopping, and it would shout, "Hi, how you doing?" And wave back. "How you doing?" People will come up and say, "It's all right. How's work?" "Fine," and then they wander off. Until one day, this guy came up to me who was actually a very close resemblance to me and said, "People keep mistaking me for you." And yeah, so there is actually a twin, almost a twin of me in the town.
Separated at birth.
Grey hair, same shape glasses, tall, slim, good looking.
Yeah, what about the other guy?
So it looks nothing like you then.
So Scott, yeah, there is somebody out there like me.
Believe it or not, there was an old and it wasn't broken.
Unfortunately, yeah, I could drag him in when I want a week off from doing live streams. I could drag him in and nobody'd know.
That's true. Damn, that's a good idea. I wish I had one. Scrifty Pup's in with us. Hey, Scrifty Pup. Here's a question. He says, "How did you Treehouse guys get to know each other?"
Well,
I'll let the others explain that. I'll let the others go through that one.
I woke up one morning and I had an invite that I'd been joined into the Treehouse Club, and it's like, the what? And that's how I got to know him. It's like, hello.
I blame Foxx.
Yeah, I deny knowing any of them.
I don't even know where I am. Studio Draven says Skippleganger.
Skippleganger.
Because it's doppelganger for Skip Dead.
Yeah, and that is, I am Jean-Claude Van Damme.
He says he was almost identical, different hair and a bit more tan. So what's Ted then? How do you describe Ted? Well, he's got
separated at sprue.
Because if I was going to describe Ted, I would say he was almost identical with different hair and a bit more tanned. So yeah,
it's exactly the same, just 20 pounds heavier, shorter, 2 foot shorter, ginger hair.
Yeah. So Nate says it wasn't Bill Oddie, was it?
Oh no, that's your twin.
Oh, Miskatonic says blaming Fox is the best default for most situations.
Yes, we found that.
But my friend Busby, who's also a Treehouse member, but you've never seen him, I just blame him instead. I just pass it on to him. So like the other day, my friend Busby, my mum dropped a glass, smashed it, and then blamed Busby. He wasn't even here. He's the default blame for anything that happens in this house.
It's either you blame Busby or it's always complaints can be sent to Hellground35.
Geocities.com. I actually was on a GeoCities website yesterday. I didn't think they still existed.
It still exists? Wow.
Well, it's like somebody asked earlier, does the Treehouse have a MySpace account? I was like,
a what?
MySpace.
What the heck is MySpace?
Just go back a bit, you'll remember MySpace.
I never had a MySpace.
What was it? It was some guy who started. He was a model builder or something. He started something, but he had some blueprints for. I was about to say what it was then, but that would give away the thing I'm not showing off at the minute. So it had some blueprints for things, let's say. But yeah, it's a working GeoCities page. I'm like, wow, that's weird. And there was no Starfield background, so I was most disappointed. Smooth says he used to use GeoCities.
Yeah, what was GeoCities for? Was it just as a website?
It was
just like a domain for.
No, you remember like in the old days when you'd sign up to AOL to get your dial-up, and you'd get an AOL homepage, and they had like a community. It was like that. It was like an ISP that would give you a web space. And you
had Netlog, didn't you? What
was that?
Netlog. Vincent is asking, TK, you had Netlog, didn't you? I don't know what Netlog is.
Under construction logo says Chris Williams. Yep, you have to have a Starfield. You have to have a view counter, and you had to have a Starfield in the background, a view counter, lots of animated GIFs everywhere, and then ideally you'd put on the worst coloured font that was on a black background so you couldn't read it. The worst one I ever saw.
I did have an Angel Fire website once.
Angel Fire, yeah, that's kind of similar. I actually went along. If you want to know what websites used to look like, then go and look at the old Heaven's Gate website, which is still there. It's still maintained to this day. That's an old kind of... For all these young kids that weren't around in the late 90s when the internet first became a thing, and you've missed out on the years of really bad website design. Go and look up some old websites. What we used to call mystery meat navigation was a thing in those days.
Banners, GIFs.
Yeah. Under construction signs.
Flashing crap. Yeah.
Yeah, Miskatonic says GeoCities was a place where you could get free web server space, usually around 2 megs, which was massive in those days. Studio Draven says bright pink or bright blue lettering. I actually saw a website once that had very pale yellow lettering on a blue background with the Starfield. You couldn't read a word of it. Mr. Loth's model making says to you, TK says, Vincent says, desperate 16-year-old looking for a date, Flemish missing link between MSN and Facebook.
Yeah, no.
Anyone? Smooth says, anyone remember Alta Vista? I remember Alta Vista.
Alta Vista, yeah.
I actually started off with AOL dial-up back in the day.
Oh, I remember that noise.
When I first
you used to get when you used to dial up. Woo!
You're like early 20s and you're trying to download some porn in the middle of the night or go and find some porn because it's really subversive, and then you realise you've got to turn the on. Like, your parents' PC, and it's like, yeah, I'm going to be really. Oh wait, I can't do that. Let's have a look. Question: where you guys also IRC in the time? Oh, were we using IRC?
Yeah.
What was IRC?
Yeah.
No, never used it.
What was
IRC?
IRC?
Was a chat channel software.
No.
Like AOL, Messenger, MSN, stuff like that.
I used to use AOL Messenger. Were any of you guys ever on like bulletin boards or BBSs?
Yeah.
Or IRC channels like that? I used to be a member of something called Subnova, which was like a Halo Bungie fan site thing. Weirdly, it's going back a good 15 years, 16 years now. That was quite elite.
Well, someone's posted ICQ as well.
ICQ, good God.
I remember ICQ.
SCQ, yeah.
Studio Draven says, "Oh God." Studio Draven says, "Oh God, halfway through downloading porn when it cut off because your mum wanted to call your gran and you only had one phone line." Yeah.
Yeah, people can never phone in because you were online.
Miskatonic says, "I used to manage BBS forums. IRC was the bomb at LAN parties. Download all the pirated media and games."
But then you had the strip poker games on your 4-color display, and with a lot of imagination, there might have been a picture in there.
Well, anyway, this is a great model making podcast, isn't it? Nah, people know that we don't just stick to the model making on this because we just do nonsense.
Occasionally talk about model making.
Yeah. Right. Well, what time is it? It's coming up to 11 o'clock, quarter to 11. We've been going for an hour and 3/4. Oh God. Roadie Hobby Corner, age, sex, location, ASL. That's an old AOL kind of. I remember the days of that. You go into an AOL chat and you'd be like, ASL? It's going back now. See, young people don't know any of this. None of this happened to them. I learned quickly that if you go into an AOL chat room, the best way to get to everybody on your side is say, "Hey, who wants pizza?" It's an internet chat room, for God's sake, but they still worked every time.
That's ever been there.
Yeah.
I think ASL has been replaced by DTF these days. So.
DTF? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, down to
something.
Yeah.
Smooth says, "Jings, you're taking me back." He says, "Jings, you're taking me back to my CB days." I won't do that accent again. I'm probably not very good at it, apparently. You're taking me back to my... He did say Jings. You take me back to my CB days. Breaker, what's your 20, etc. Breaker 1 now, and this here is a rubber duck. What's your 20, pig pen? Come on.
Oh, yeah, I did have a CB set. That was... used to turn the CB set on and blank out the neighbours' TVs.
I always wanted a CB, but I never had one. The most I ever got was little walkie-talkies.
I never even got those either.
No. Miskatonic's going to go and throw some steaks on the grill for dinner. Smooth says, "Okay, the new Fox, lol." You can't say Jings in a sentence and not expect me to go Jangs. I have to do it. Half Scottish, half Irish. I'm either confused or pallid. One of the two.
Just got a text message. Taylor says hi.
Hi, Taylor. I haven't drawn your picture yet. Sorry.
There's a lot of things we haven't done that we like to do.
What's Jings?
Jings is it's a Scottish phrase. It's like saying, "Smooth, explain what Jings is in chat." It's the best way to explain Jings. Jings Crevens. It's a Scottish saying. It means like it's like saying it's an exclamation of something. A surprise, perhaps. Ted, Smooth, how would you explain Jings? I can't think of a way to explain it to a non-native English speaker. Jings Crivens and help my Bob. It's like a way of saying OMG, basically. OMG.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
cool.
Smooth says the same thing. It's like OMG. Smooth, we think alike, mate. We can relate it to modern internet.
I have learned something today.
Yeah, my dad used to say Jings all the time. My dad ruled the kitchen, and if he was in the kitchen, he heard, "Oh, we indulge your head," or "What Jings?" Something had gone wrong. He tried to make curries, and they didn't taste like curry, and they never went right. So you'd either hear,
the same. I'm gonna make a really hot curry, and you taste it, it's like, well, where's the heat? It's like, okay.
Whatever my dad tried to make, he'd grind up all the stuff in the mortar and pestle, and he'd go right from bare basics and all the ingredients, and it always tastes like just kind of like the lamb.
Yeah.
Even if it was chicken, it'd be lamb. James.
No, I can't say I've heard of that. Lived near the border, but never come across much Scots.
Nah. Well, TK's learned some Scottish terminology tonight. Haha, when Belgian heat.
Yeah, what you need to do is go and watch a few episodes of Ramsay Nesbitt.
Ramsay Nesbitt.
That will teach you Scottish.
See, I used to love Ramsay Nesbitt at school. None of my school friends thought it was funny, and I was like, "Why?" They said, "Because we don't know what we're talking about." And I'm like, "Well, I can understand it. Why can't you?"
It takes a little bit, yeah. I must admit, it did take me like an episode to tune me ear into it. But after that, it was hilarious.
I was just used to it at home, so I just understood every word. Hey, see me, see the sea. I love the see me.
See there.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh, what was he called now? What was his mate called? There was Rab, and his mate was called. Hey, Rab. He's not like that.
And
his like nasal voice.
His wife, Hin. Yeah, Hin.
No, Rab, see, we'll teach you reading, no Scottish. Hey, what was his sidekick's name? His name was. Was it? It wasn't James. Was it James? Hey, James. It might have been James.
I can't remember. It's just. I feel like I have to go rewatch some of it now.
Yeah, Studio Draven says, I thank Rabsy Nesbitt for preparing me to understanding people when I moved to Scotland. Hi, Jamesy. Hi, Rab. I love the Scottish accent. I absolutely adore it in all its forms. I totally adore it. I wish I could do it much better. I really do. Absolutely adore it. I had many years ago, I was working for a company and we had they were setting up a call centre in Bells Hill in Glasgow. So I got to work in Glasgow for like 3 months. It was just heaven for me. I was like, They were like, how come you couldn't understand what we're saying? And I'm like, it's not a problem for me. Because all my other colleagues were like, I don't know what anybody's saying half the time. I'm like, you're an idiot. Jamesy can't.
Imagine being Dutch.
Hey?
Imagine being Dutch and going on a holiday in Scotland and then people start talking to you in a Scottish accent.
Jamesy Cotter was his name.
Could you repeat that again, please?
Lynn, I'm putting it in the comments for you. Rabsy Nesbitt.
Oh. Even if you just YouTube it for a couple of minutes of it, you'll
just Rabsy Nesbitt. Yeah, just look up Rabsy Nesbitt on YouTube. There was also a great series called Absolutely, which was a comedy sketch show, and that had all various different Scottish accents. But I just love the Scottish accent. I can't get enough of it. Scottish folk tend to sing their sentences and talk really fast, says Smith. Yeah, pretty much. Right, well, that'll do us for tonight, I think. My mum's like that when she's chatting to my mother-in-law. She just smiles and nods and asks me what the hell she was talking about. Yes, well, I think we've been on for almost 2 hours now, so I think that actually will do it for tonight.
Yeah.
We've done bugger all model making talk, not really.
I've even stopped painting.
No. I'll throw in a model then. Look.
Oh, I like it. Smooth says The Vital Spark. I love that film. Love The Vital Spark.
What's The Vital Spark? I've never heard of it.
It's about an old steamer that goes around a coast, a Scottish coaster.
Okay.
Yeah,
so it's like the African Queen in Scotland.
Well, no, it's quite quaint. These old men that own this Scottish coaster, and he cons this multi-million-pound company to transport the goods for them, and they think they're getting a super cargo ship, and it's an old tramp steamer. Brilliant film.
See, now I've just got an image of like African Queen, but like Scottish version. It's like you're gonna have to get out and push. You can get to fuck. I'm not doing that. I'm not getting that much. No way.
But they're speaking with those Shetland accents, you know.
Yeah, that's a bit more refined. Oh no. That's more Edinburgh. That's more Edinburgh. It's a wee boat they were towing expletives, he says. Go check out those vids, Fox. Night night, guys. Scott's off. See you, Scott. I'll go and check those videos out.
Yep.
Rhodey says, wait till you hear the difference between West Vlaams and Netherlands. Vlaams. I like the sound of that. It's just an awesome word. I don't know what it means.
Flemish.
Lynn's off. Feel it. Anyway, yes, we shall wrap this up because it's been going almost 2 hours and I am really warm. It's not been very modelling makery, but thank you to everybody who's stuck with us. Hopefully it's had a good time. We're a little bit out of practice at this because we haven't done it in a month. But we'll get back.
We need to start doing this a little bit more.
Yeah, what we would do apart from nobody's ever around, that's the difficult bit.
Yeah, it's getting everybody together, isn't it?
Yeah. Because what people don't know is that before we all get together and do this live stream, there's like a 300-foot long Facebook post in the Treehouse. And it is a bit like herding cats.
Yeah. Are you going to be there? No, I don't know if I can make it on Monday, but I can do Tuesday. Oh, I can't do Tuesday, but I can do Friday.
Oh, Ron Mack does say Scottish Star Trek on YouTube. Yes, I've seen the Scottish Star Trek. It's hilarious. It is hilarious.
Now, my question is on that one, would that be the engineer would be English?
I can't remember what the engineer is, and I think they're all just Scottish. And there's the other one about the...
I saw that, yeah. Is that the same one with the elevator?
Yeah, it's the same program. There's two. It's the speaking.
Oh, I've seen the elevator. Yeah.
Yeah, with the voice, and they're like, "What? That's it? I don't know." Second.
Yeah. It's hilarious.
I want to go up, you stupid cow. That was good. That
5.
Anyway, yes, that will do it for this evening. Before we wander off again, that will do it for this evening. Thank you to my guests as always. Thank you to Adam from Enigma Model Making. Thank you very much, sir.
No problem.
And it shows Ted when you say that. Brilliant.
Sorry, I'm rattling my balls. The balls are rattling.
Are they stirring? Are they stirring balls, Ted? Are they stirring balls?
Stirring balls. Yeah, I'm going to slap it on. Ah!
Hang on, let me lock it on you, and you can do that again.
The best reference.
Do all that again, Ted, so I can extract this from the video later on.
Slap it on! Yes.
I'm just leaving on you for about 10 seconds so I can get 10 seconds for that.
Yeah, you're going to cut you and use that now, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. Tedward, thank you very much from Skipper Ted. Skipper Ted Model, Skipper Ted, thanks for coming on tonight. Now he goes quiet.
What, you finishing, mate? Right,
you talk about what I'm doing. Oh, dear. TK from TK's Models, thank you for joining the chaos.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
And Wilbert, my friend from Models by Will.
Later,
so much
no worries. Good to be here again.
For bringing your dry shit and your burpage and slurpage. You didn't do a burp. We've not had a burp.
No. There you go. Adam's done one for me.
That was a bit of a rubbish burp, though.
I have been doing the other end, though.
Well, we can't hear that one, thank you.
It's a bit smelly in here at the moment.
Excuse me.
Well, I'm afraid, Will, that everybody else has done a Will burp for you now, so you're just redundant. Banned.
I
don't need me anymore.
What's that is on my when I do my intros to my video now, where I have it switch over to the Treehouse logo page. I had to put in a burp for that transition just for Will.
It is his trademark. Well, that's going to do us, though. Thank you to everybody who came into the chat. Thank you for joining us. We're having a good time this evening. Hope you've all had fun. So not a lot of model making talk this time, but it doesn't really matter. We're just going to laugh. Plus, it's work school day tomorrow, so you better well go to bed because it's nearly 11 o'clock. I've got a couple of cigarettes. I really need to smoke. There you go.
Well,
but thank you to everybody.
Thanks, dudes.
The truth shall set you free.
The truth shall set you free. No, don't make me sing. If you're not watching this live, if you're watching this after the fact, thanks for watching. Try and come in on the live one though, because then you'll get the chat. I don't mind pointing over here. It's over here on my screen, but it's irrelevant to you guys watching. It's a live chat, so keep an eye on the Boom Hut or on the Model Making Guru Facebook page, or the pages for Enigma Model Making, Skipper Scale Models, Skipper Ted, TK's Models, and Models by Will. We'll post up on there. We try and post up an hour beforehand with the actual link because it changes every time. But thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Go make something awesome. Go do something awesome. And as always, adios amigos. Ow! What was that? You're bad. You guys are idiots. You're all idiots. Bye.